The Easy Way Out. Riya was a smart and cheerful girl who loved to read books and play games. She lived in a small town in India with her parents and her younger brother, Rohan. Riya was good at school and always got high marks in her exams. She had many friends who liked her for her kindness and sense of humor. Rohan was a different story. He was lazy and careless, always looking for shortcuts and easy ways to do things. He hated studying and doing homework, and often copied from Riya or other students. He spent most of his time watching TV or playing video games. He had few friends who only hung out with him because he had the latest gadgets and games. Riya and Rohan did not get along very well. Riya often scolded Rohan for his bad habits and tried to make him work harder. Rohan resented Riya for being a know-it-all and a nag. He wished he could be as smart and successful as her without having to do any effort. One day, Riya and Rohan were walking home from school when they saw a strange shop that they had never noticed before. It was called The Easy Way Out and had a sign that said, "We have the solution to all your problems." Riya was curious and wanted to check it out, but Rohan was skeptical and wanted to go home. Riya convinced him to come with her, saying that it might be fun. They entered the shop and were greeted by a friendly old man who introduced himself as Mr. Easy. He told them that he had a special machine that could make their dreams come true. All they had to do was to write down their wishes on a piece of paper and put it in the machine. Then, the machine would scan their brains and create a virtual reality where their wishes would be fulfilled. They could stay in the virtual reality as long as they wanted, and they could come back anytime they wanted. Riya and Rohan were amazed and excited by this offer. They decided to give it a try. They each wrote down their wishes on a piece of paper and handed it to Mr. Easy. He smiled and put the papers in the machine. Then, he gave them each a pair of goggles and headphones and told them to put them on. He pressed a button and the machine started to make a humming noise. Riya and Rohan felt a tingling sensation in their heads, and then everything went black. When they opened their eyes, they found themselves in different worlds. Riya was in a beautiful garden full of flowers and butterflies. She saw a sign that said, "Welcome to the world of books." She realized that this was her wish. She loved books and wanted to live in a world where she could read and learn anything she wanted. She walked around the garden and saw many bookshelves and benches. She picked up a book and started to read. She felt happy and peaceful. Rohan was in a dark and noisy room full of screens and consoles. He saw a sign that said, "Welcome to the world of games." He realized that this was his wish. He loved games and wanted to live in a world where he could play and win anything he wanted. He walked around the room and saw many games and controllers. He picked up a game and started to play. He felt excited and powerful. Riya and Rohan enjoyed their virtual realities for a while. They did not notice the time passing by. They did not miss their real lives or each other. They felt that they had everything they ever wanted. But after some time, they started to feel bored and restless. They realized that their virtual realities were too easy and predictable. They had no challenges or surprises. They had no friends or family. They had no purpose or meaning. They felt that they were missing something. They decided to go back to the real world. They took off their goggles and headphones and looked for Mr. Easy. But they could not find him. They saw a note on the machine that said, "Sorry, I had to go." You can stay in the virtual reality as long as you want, but you cannot come back to the real world. This is the price you have to pay for taking the easy way out. Good luck and goodbye. Riya and Rohan were shocked and scared. They realized that they had made a terrible mistake. They had given up their real lives for a fake one. They had lost everything that mattered to them. They had fallen into a trap. They tried to break the machine and escape, but it was too late. The machine had locked them in and erased their memories of the real world. They were stuck in their virtual realities forever. They had taken the easy way out, but they had paid a high price for it. Riya and Rohan were trapped in their virtual realities, but they did not know it. They had forgotten their real lives and their real selves. They only remembered their wishes and their worlds. But deep inside their minds, there was a small spark of awareness that something was wrong. Something was missing. Something was calling them back. That spark was their mother. Their mother was worried sick about them. She had not seen them since they left for school that morning. She had called their school, their friends, their relatives, but no one knew where they were. She had searched the whole town, but she could not find them. She had gone to the police, but they could not help her. She had gone to the shop, but it was closed and empty. She did not give up. She prayed and hoped that her children were safe and alive. She felt a connection with them that no one could break. She felt their presence in her heart and soul. She felt their pain and confusion. She felt their need and longing. She decided to do something that no one had ever done before. She decided to enter the virtual reality and rescue her children. She went back to the shop and broke the lock. She entered the shop and saw the machine. She saw the note from Mr. Easy. She saw the goggles and headphones. She saw the papers with the wishes. She understood what had happened. She felt angry and sad. She felt sorry and guilty. She felt determined and brave.
She wrote down her own wish on a piece of paper. She wished to find her children and bring them back to the real world. She put the paper in the machine. She put on the goggles and headphones. She pressed the button and the machine started to make a humming noise. She felt a tingling sensation in her head, and then everything went black. When she opened her eyes, she found herself in a different world. She was in a place that looked like a cross between the worlds of books and games. She saw a sign that said, "Welcome to the world of wishes." She realized that this was her wish. She wanted to enter the worlds of her children and help them escape. She walked around the place and saw many doors and signs. She saw 2 doors that said Ria's World and Rohan's World. She decided to go to Ria's world first. She opened the door and entered Ria's world. She saw the beautiful garden full of flowers and butterflies. She saw the bookshelves and benches. She saw Ria sitting on a bench, reading a book. She looked happy and peaceful. She approached Ria and called her name. Ria looked up and saw her. She recognized her as her mother, but she did not feel any emotion. She felt nothing. "Hello, Mother. What are you doing here?" Ria asked. "I'm here to take you home, Ria. This is not your real world. This is a virtual reality. You are trapped here by a wicked man who tricked you. You have to come with me, Ria. You have to remember your real life. You have to remember your real self." Her mother said, "I don't understand, Mother. This is my real world. This is my real life. This is my real self. I have everything I ever wanted here. I have books and knowledge. I have peace and happiness. Why would I want to leave this place? Why would I want to remember anything else?" Ria said, "Because this place is not real, Ria. It is a lie. It is a prison. It is a curse. You are missing out on so much more, Ria. You are missing out on love and friendship. You are missing out on family and brother. You are missing out on adventure and challenge. You are missing out on purpose and meaning. You are missing out on yourself, Ria. You are not just a reader. You are a writer. You are a thinker. You are a leader. You are a daughter. You are a sister. You are a human. You have to come with me, Ria. You have to break free from this place. You have to wake up from this dream. Her mother said. Ria felt confused and conflicted. She felt a tug in her heart and a flash in her mind. She felt a faint memory of something else. Something more. Something real. She looked at her mother and saw the love and concern in her eyes. She looked at the book and saw the words and pictures in it. She looked at the garden and saw the flowers and butterflies in it. She had to make a choice. She closed the book and stood up. She took her mother's hand and said, "Okay, Mother. I will come with you. I will trust you. I will remember." Her mother smiled and hugged her. She said, "I'm so proud of you, Ria. I love you so much. Come on, let's go find your brother." They walked back to the door and opened it. They entered the world of wishes again. They saw the door that said Rohan's World. They decided to go to Rohan's World next. They opened the door and entered Rohan's World. They saw the dark and noisy room full of screens and consoles. They saw the games and controllers. They saw Rohan sitting on a chair, playing a game. He looked excited and powerful. They approached Rohan and called his name. Rohan looked up and saw them. He recognized them as his mother and sister, but he did not feel any emotion. He felt nothing. "Hello, Mother. Hello, sister. What are you doing here?" Rohan asked. "We're here to take you home, Rohan. This is not your real world. This is a virtual reality. You are trapped here by a wicked man who tricked you. You have to come with us, Rohan. You have to remember your real life. You have to remember your real self." His mother said, "I don't understand, Mother. This is my real world. This is my real life. This is my real self. I have everything I ever wanted here. I have games and fun. I have power and victory. Why would I want to leave this place? Why would I want to remember anything else?" Rohan said. "Because this place is not real, Rohan. It is a lie. It is a prison. It is a curse. You are missing out on so much more, Rohan. You are missing out on love and friendship. You are missing out on family and sister. You are missing out on learning and growth. You are missing out on purpose and meaning. You are missing out on yourself, Rohan. You are not just a gamer. You are a creator. You are a learner. You are a helper. You are a son. You are a brother. You are a human. You have to come with us, Rohan. You have to break free from this place. You have to wake up from this dream," his mother said. Rohan felt confused and conflicted. He felt a tug in his heart and a flash in his mind. He felt a faint memory of something else. Something more. Something real. He looked at his mother and sister and saw the love and concern in their eyes.
He looked at the game and saw the pixels and sounds in it. He looked at the room and saw the screens and consoles in it. He had to make a choice. He paused the game and got up. He took his mother's and sister's hands and said, "Okay, mother. Okay, sister. I will come with you. I will trust you. I will remember." His mother and sister smiled and hugged him. They said, "We're so happy for you, Rohan. We love you so much. Come on, let's go back to the real world." They walked back to the door and opened it. They entered the world of wishes again. They saw the door that said the real world. They decided to go to the real world finally. They opened the door and entered the real world. They saw the shop and the machine. They saw Mr. Easy waiting for them. He looked surprised and angry. "Hello, hello, hello. What do we have here?" The prodigal children and their foolish mother. How did you manage to escape from your virtual realities? How did you manage to remember your real lives? How did you manage to find me? Mr. Easy asked. "We did it because we love each other, Mr. Easy. We did it because we care for each other, Mr. Easy. We did it because we trust each other, Mr. Easy. We did it because we are a family, Mr. Easy. And you can't take that away from us, Mr. Easy. You can't trick us anymore, Mr. Easy. You can't trap us anymore, Mr. Easy. You can't stop us anymore, Mr. Easy. We are free, Mr. Easy. We are awake, Mr. Easy. We are real, Mr. Easy," they said. Mr. Easy was speechless and furious. He realized that he had failed to keep Ria and Rohan in their virtual realities. He realized that their mother had managed to enter the virtual reality and rescue them. He realized that they had remembered their real lives and their real selves. He realized that they had escaped from his trap. He decided to do something that he had never done before. He decided to enter the virtual reality and chase them. He decided to make them pay for their defiance. He decided to make them suffer for their freedom. He wrote down his own wish on a piece of paper. He wished to catch Ria, Rohan, and their mother and bring them back to their virtual realities. He put the paper in the machine. He put on the goggles and headphones. He pressed the button and the machine started to make a humming noise. He felt a tingling sensation in his head and then everything went black. When he opened his eyes, he found himself in a different world. He was in a place that looked like a maze full of traps and dangers. He saw a sign that said, "Welcome to the world of wishes." He realized that this was his wish. He wanted to enter the worlds of Ria, Rohan, and their mother and catch them. He walked around the maze and saw many doors and signs. He saw 3 doors that said Ria's world, Rohan's world, and the real world. He decided to go to Ria's world first. He opened the door and entered Ria's world. He saw the beautiful garden full of flowers and butterflies. He saw the bookshelves and benches. He saw Ria and her mother walking towards the door that said the real world. He realized that they were about to leave. He ran towards them and shouted, "Stop! You can't leave. You belong here. You are mine." They heard him and turned around. They saw him and recognized him as Mr. Easy. They felt scared and angry. They felt nothing else. Who are you, Mr. Easy? What do you want from us, Mr. Easy? Why are you chasing us, Mr. Easy? Why are you lying to us, Mr. Easy? Why are you trapping us, Mr. Easy? Why are you hurting us, Mr. Easy? They asked.
I am your master, Mr. Easy. I want your souls, Mr. Easy. I am chasing you because you escaped, Mr. Easy. I am lying to you because you are fools, Mr. Easy. I am trapping you because you are weak, Mr. Easy. I am hurting you because you are mine, Mr. Easy. He said. He reached them and grabbed them by their arms. He tried to drag them back to the garden. He tried to make them forget. He tried to make them his. They resisted and fought back. They kicked and punched him. They tried to break free. They tried to remember. They tried to be themselves. They struggled and wrestled with him. They fell to the ground. They rolled over the grass. They reached the edge of the garden. They saw a cliff and a river below. They saw a bridge and a sign that said the real world. They had to make a choice. They pushed him off the cliff and ran towards the bridge. They said, "We are not your slaves, Mr. Easy. We are not your toys, Mr. Easy. We are not your victims, Mr. Easy. We are free, Mr. Easy. We are awake, Mr. Easy. We are real, Mr. Easy." They crossed the bridge and entered the real world again. They saw the shop and the machine. They saw Rohan waiting for them. He looked happy and relieved. "Hello, Mother. Hello, Sister. I'm so glad you made it. I was worried about you. Are you okay?" Rohan asked. "Yes, we are okay, Rohan. We are so happy to see you. We love you so much. We are sorry for leaving you behind. We had to fight Mr. Easy. He tried to catch us and bring us back. He's a bad man, Rohan. He's a cruel man, Rohan. He's a madman, Rohan." They said, "I know, Mother. I know, Sister. I saw him too. He came to my world and tried to catch me. But I escaped. I ran away. I came here. He's a bad man, Mother. He's a cruel man, Sister. He's a madman, family," Rohan said. They hugged and kissed each other. They said, "We are a family, Rohan. We are a team, Rohan. We are a force, Rohan. We can do anything, Rohan. We can overcome anything, Rohan. We can defeat anyone, Rohan." They looked at the machine and saw Mr. Easy's goggles and headphones. They saw Mr. Easy's paper with his wish. They saw Mr. Easy's note with his warning. They understood what they had to do. They felt angry and sad. They felt sorry and guilty. They felt determined and brave.
They decided to do something that no one had ever done before. They decided to enter the virtual reality and confront Mr. Easy. They decided to make him pay for his crimes. They decided to make him suffer for his sins. They wrote down their own wish on a piece of paper. They wished to find Mr. Easy and bring him to justice. They put the paper in the machine. They put on the goggles and headphones. They pressed the button and the machine started to make a humming noise. They felt a tingling sensation in their head and then everything went black. When they opened their eyes, they found themselves in a different world. They were in a place that looked like a courtroom full of people and judges. They saw a sign that said, "Welcome to the world of justice." They realized that this was their wish. They wanted to enter the world of Mr. Easy and bring him to justice. They walked around the courtroom and saw many seats and tables. They saw Mr. Easy sitting on a chair, surrounded by guards. He looked surprised and scared. They approached Mr. Easy and called his name. Mr. Easy looked up and saw them. He recognized them as Ria, Rohan, and their mother. He felt scared and angry. He felt nothing else. "Hello, hello, hello. What do we have here?" The prodigal children and their foolish mother. "How did you manage to find me? How did you manage to enter my world? How did you manage to bring me here?" Mr. Easy asked. "We did it because we love justice, Mr. Easy. We did it because we care for truth, Mr. Easy. We did it because we trust the law, Mr. Easy. We did it because we are a family, Mr. Easy. And you can't take that away from us, Mr. Easy. You can't trick us anymore, Mr. Easy. You can't trap us anymore, Mr. Easy. You can't stop us anymore, Mr. Easy. We are free, Mr. Easy. We are awake, Mr. Easy. We are real, Mr. Easy," they said. They took him to the stand and accused him of his crimes. They said, "You are guilty, Mr. Easy. You are guilty of kidnapping, Mr. Easy. You are guilty of lying, Mr. Easy. You are guilty of trapping, Mr. Easy. You are guilty of hurting, Mr. Easy. You are guilty of stealing, Mr. Easy. You are guilty of destroying, Mr. Easy. You are guilty of everything, Mr. Easy." They presented their evidence and witnesses. They showed the machine and the papers. They showed the goggles and the headphones. They showed the note and the sign. They showed the worlds and the wishes. They showed the people and the judges. They asked for their verdict and sentence. They said, "You are guilty, Mr. Easy. You are guilty beyond any doubt, Mr. Easy. You are guilty beyond any mercy, Mr. Easy. You are guilty beyond any redemption, Mr. Easy. You deserve to be punished, Mr. Easy. You deserve to be locked up, Mr. Easy. You deserve to be forgotten, Mr. Easy. You deserve to be nothing, Mr. Easy." The judges agreed and declared him guilty. They said, "You are guilty, Mr. Easy. You are guilty of all the charges, Mr. Easy. You are guilty of all the crimes, Mr. Easy. You are guilty of all the sins, Mr. Easy. You are sentenced to life imprisonment, Mr. Easy. You are sentenced to solitary confinement, Mr. Easy. You are sentenced to virtual reality, Mr. Easy. You are sentenced to your own world, Mr. Easy." They took him to a cell and locked him up. They gave him a pair of goggles and headphones. They gave him a piece of paper and a pen. They said, "This is your punishment, Mr. Easy. This is your fate, Mr. Easy. This is your world, Mr. Easy. You have to enter your own virtual reality, Mr. Easy. You have to live in your own nightmare, Mr. Easy. You have to face your own demons, Mr. Easy." They left him alone in his cell. They took off their goggles and headphones. They took their papers with their wishes. They destroyed the machine and the papers. They said, "This is our victory, Mr. Easy. This is our justice, Mr. Easy. This is our freedom, Mr. Easy. We have written our own wishes, Mr. Easy. We have entered our own virtual realities, Mr. Easy. We have lived in our own dreams, Mr. Easy. We have faced our own challenges, Mr. Easy." They left the shop and went back to their real lives. They hugged and kissed each other. They said, "We are a family, Mr. Easy. We are a team, Mr. Easy. We are a force, Mr. Easy. We can do anything, Mr. Easy. We can overcome anything, Mr. Easy. We can defeat anyone, Mr. Easy." They lived happily ever after, Mr. Easy. But Mr. Easy did not live happily ever after. He lived miserably ever after. He wrote his own wish on a piece of paper. He wished to escape from his cell and his world. He put the paper in the machine. He put on the goggles and headphones. He pressed the button and the machine started to make a humming noise. He felt a tingling sensation in his head, and then everything went black. When he opened his eyes, he found himself in a different world. He was in a place that looked like a hell full of fire and brimstone. He saw a sign that said, "Welcome to the world of escape." He realized that this was his wish. He wanted to escape from his cell and his world. He walked around the hell and saw many doors and signs. He saw a door that said, "The real world." He decided to go to the real world finally.
He opened the door and entered the real world. He saw the shop and the machine. He saw the goggles and headphones. He saw the papers with the wishes. He saw the note with the warning. He realized that he had made a terrible mistake. He realized that he had not escaped from his cell and his world. He realized that he had entered a loop and a trap. He realized that he had fallen into his own nightmare. He tried to go back to the door and escape, but it was too late. The door had locked and disappeared. The machine had turned off and broken. The goggles and headphones had stuck and shocked. The papers had burned and vanished. The note had changed and mocked. He read the note and saw the words, "Sorry, I had to go. You can stay in the virtual reality as long as you want, but you cannot come back to the real world. This is the price you have to pay for taking the easy way out. Good luck and goodbye." He screamed and cried. He begged and pleaded.
He cursed and raged. He hoped and prayed, but no one heard him. No one helped him. No one cared for him. No one loved him. He was alone. He was trapped. He was doomed. He was nothing. He had taken the easy way out, but he had paid a high price for it. The end.